Orthodox Russia sending 6 Su-35 fighters to the fascist Oromo-Islamic regime of Ethiopia, to massacre more Orthodox Christians. On September 25, 2025, Vladimir Putin met with the genocidal Prime Minister of Ethiopia Abiy Ahmed Ali in the Kremlin. Back in 2022, the evil genocidal Abiy Ahmed Ali told The New Yorker magazine the following. "In the Iraq War, I fought with them," he said. "I was the one who would send intelligence from this part of the world to the N.S.A, on Sudan and Yemen and Somalia. The N.S.A knows me. I would fight and die for America." Leak doc reveals Su-57s for Algeria, Su-35s for Iran and Ethiopia. A new leaked document from the Russian state defense conglomerate Rostec have revealed that the Ethiopian Air Force is scheduled to receive 6 Su-35 air superiority fighters. Ethiopia is the third country confirmed in 2025 to have ordered the aircraft, following statements from Iranian officials in January confirming that orders for Su-35s had been placed, and the emergence of footage in March revealing an unexpected delivery to the Algerian Air Force. The Su-35 had previously struggled to gain clients, with only China having received 24 aircraft, while Egypt and Indonesia suspended their orders due to threats by Western Bloc states to impose economic sanctions. Sanctions threats are reported to have deterred multiple further prospective clients from proceeding with orders. Further factors against the Su-35's favor were competition from the much less costly but for most missions similarly capable Su-30SM, which has been exported much more widely, as well as the expected availability of the significantly more advanced Su-57, which will see its first export deliveries made in the next 3 months. Even the Communist Soviet Union blocked the sale of weapons to the Islamic Republic of Iran, fearing it would foment trouble in its Muslim-majority regions in Central Asia and the Caucasus. For Ethiopia, the document references 6 Su-35 fighters, suggesting that the deal may already be in advanced stages or that deliveries have begun. The timeline outlined in the document suggests that most of these contracts were signed or initiated prior to or shortly after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, with delivery schedules stretching well into the second half of the decade. The complexity of the supply chain, including production of electronic warfare systems, avionics, and support equipment, also points to Russia's need to synchronize its industrial base to meet export commitments while sustaining domestic military demand. Ethiopia previously operated the most capable fighter units on the African continent, after having placed orders for 18 Su-27 fourth-generation air superiority fighters in the mid-1990s. Procurements were made in response to neighboring Eritrea's order for 6 Russian MiG-29s, with clashes between the two fighter types during a border conflict in 1998 to 2000 seeing the Su-27s win decisively in all 4 known engagements. Now approaching 30 years in service, it has long been speculated how the Ethiopian Air Force will replace its Su-27s, with the service in January 2024 becoming the 15th in the world to receive Su-30 fighters, although only 2 are known to have been delivered. With the delivery of Su-35s now confirmed, which are single-seat aircraft with no trainer variants, it appears that the Su-30s are intended to serve as trainers for the fleet. We are living in an evil, hypocritical, wicked, carnal and primitive world. As you see, the international system established to prevent and prosecute genocide is fundamentally flawed, as its effectiveness is consistently undermined by political interests and selective enforcement, allowing states and actors to circumvent accountability with impunity. This wicked world likes to talk 24/7 about the fake Gaza genocide and turning a blind eye to the horrific global persecution and genocide of Christians, to circumvent accountability for their diabolical actions. The current tragic war drama in the Middle East is another dishonest sophistic deflection from the ongoing ethnic cleansing and genocide in Armenia, Syria, Nigeria, Congo and Ethiopia. As Congressman Brad Sherman rightfully put it, much of the world barely noticed the war that tore Ethiopia apart between 2020 and 2022, causing innumerable atrocities and millions of deaths of ancient Orthodox Christians, the guardians of the Ark of the Covenant. It featured rampages of murder and rape against civilians even deadlier than those Hamas perpetrated on October 7. It saw the bombing of cities, churches, monasteries, schools, hospitals, water infrastructure, flour mills, and the deliberate starving of civilians. Nobody is talking about this huge, probably world history-changing tragic event, because the CIA and company managed to keep that almost a secret because it controls the Ethiopian elites. The CIA and company infiltrated nearly every level of the Ethiopian politics. Good-for-nothing African Union organized a conference on the Rwandan genocide in Addis Ababa, the city where genocide against Ethiopian Christians is taking place, but their hearts and attention were given to the non-African terrorists, the Arab Muslim Palestinians. Previously, the 2001 World Conference Against Racism, WCR, also known as Durban I, was held in Durban, South Africa. The focus was immediately diverted to the Middle East. The same is true today. Africans cannot talk about the genocide waged against their own people in Africa. Why? Because all the traitor African elites and those in power are agents of the Edomite and Ishmaelite Luciferians. In Ethiopia, Nigeria and Congo, a genocide has been underway for years. Meanwhile, countries like South Africa led the charge in the International Court of Justice's genocide case against Israel, while it ignores a real genocide against Christians. The deadliest country no one wants to report truthfully about is Ethiopia. Since the beginning of the genocidal jihad in the northern Ethiopian regions of Tigray, Amhara and Afar in November 2020 till today, 1.5 million Orthodox Christians were brutally massacred. 200,000 Orthodox Christian women, children and nuns were raped and abused. Over 1 million Ethiopians were forced to migrate to other countries. 4.4 million internally displaced people severely impacted by conflict, hostilities and climate shocks. Over 1 million female Ethiopian slaves sold to Arab countries. 20 million Ethiopian forced to experience food insecurity. By the fascist Oromo Islamic Army of the Nobel Peace Laureate PM Abiy Ahmed Ali and his UN, Arab, Israeli, Turkish, Iranian, European, American, Russian, Ukrainian, African allies. The wars in Tigray, Ethiopia and Ukraine showed us. United by their Illuminist Luciferian Masonic Satanist agendas, the following Edomite Ishmaelite nations, entities, bodies and individuals are waging jihad against the ancient Christian nation of Aksumite Ethiopia, as they all actively and openly assist, empower and protect the genocidal fascist Oromo Islamic regime of evil Abiy Ahmed Ali. The United Nations, the World Health Organization, Antonio Guterres, Tedros Adhanom, Klaus Schwab, the European Union, the African Union, the United States, Canada and Cuba, Presidents Biden and Trump, Russia, Ukraine, China, Israel, Iran, Arab States/Arab League/UAE, Turkey, Azerbaijan, Southern Ethiopians, Amharas, Oromos, Eritrea, Djibouti, Kenya, South Africa, Sudan, Somalia, Egypt, Iran, Pakistan, India, Azerbaijan, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, World Food Programme, 2020 Nobel Peace Laureate, the Nobel Prize Committee, the World Economic Forum, the World Bank and International Monetary Fund, the atheists and animists, the Muslims, the Protestants, the Sodomites, mainstream media, social medias like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, TPLF. Even those nations that are one another enemies, like Israel versus Iran, Russia plus China versus Ukraine plus the West, Egypt plus Sudan versus Iran plus Turkey, India versus Pakistan, have now become friends, as they are all united in the anti-Christian, anti-Zionist Ethiopia conspiracy. This has never ever happened before. It is a very curious phenomenon, a strange unique appearance in world history. With the Zionist Tigray, Ethiopians are the Almighty Exhiaber God and His saints, Saint Mary of Zion, the Ark of the Covenant,